intensified efforts to mobilize productive investment, and embraced digitization, AI, and crypto.
There's this huge demand from the investing population to get price exposure to XRP. And given that we're derivatives people,
and we're making sure that the Senate knows that they're bailing out the big banks, which are having record profit margins at the expense of the American consumer.
If you're worried about losing deposits because there's a higher reward offered by an exchange on a stablecoin, hire your.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. Shout out to the latest sub. No breakfast, no coffee. Got XRP back up to around $2.87. We got Eleanor and Tara to pop off. Scoop, SEC governors asked for issuers of LTC, XRP, Sol, ADA, and Doge ETFs to withdraw their 19B-4 filings following the approval of the generic listing standards, which replaces the need for those filings. I'm told that withdrawals could start happening as soon as this week. More context for those asking whether withdrawal is a bad thing. The short answer is no. The long answer, when the SEC Gov approved the generic listing standard 2 weeks ago, it eliminated the need for exchanges to file 19B-4 forms to list individual token ETFs, simplifying and speeding up the process. This move signals that the new process is working as intended. Securitize, the first integration of Ripple's RLUSD into our regulated tokenization stack, opens new liquidity pathways for the largest yield-bearing asset on chain. BlackRock's BUIDL and VanEck's V-Build, powered by Securitize, are the first to benefit with the new asset and use cases planned for the XRP ledger ecosystem. Bank XRP, Pakistan's prime minister, says that they have embraced digitization, AI, and crypto as the tools of the future.
We have successfully implemented deep-rooted structural macroeconomic reforms, modernized and broadened our taxation system, intensified efforts to mobilize productive investment, and embraced digitization, AI, and crypto as the tools of the future.
Digital asset investor, CEO, Tech Realm Trading, with an XRP ETF update, it just took off. Spot XRP ETFs coming.
Sure. Well, like I said, we did have that experience with Bitcoin. We had filed for a Bitcoin ETF, and we are derivatives experts. And so we're in a bit of a waiting period right now for people waiting for the physical XRP, for funds that can hold the XRP tokens. And so there's this huge demand from the investing population to get price exposure to XRP. And given that we're derivatives people, we knew that XRP futures were announced by both Coinbase and the CME. They were going to come out, but a bunch of people filed at the same time. Everybody's waiting and watching, and so we said, well, how can we get ahead of this? You have to be first. And I'm a derivatives guy. It's what I've done my whole life. So we structured a derivatives swap that followed the price of XRP based upon because Europe has more lenient laws than we did on crypto listing. There was an XRP ETF in Switzerland, and so we structured a swap on that and listed it in our XRP, our leveraged double XRP. XRP is the ticker. It's a great ticker on the New York Stock Exchange, and we stuck it in there. And so we were first to market, and that's what matters in ETFs. You have to be first to market. I don't know why. My oil and gas ETFs years ago, they were 2.5 years we had them out, and they beat all the other ETFs in their category. No one bought them. They only, everybody gets used to the name or the good ticker, and that's it, and you have it. So I knew we had to get out there. I knew we had the best ticker, double XRP, XXRP. So I said, we've got to be first. And we structured a swap and put it in there, and it just took off. And then when futures came, we instantly switched to futures. There's good deep liquidity in there. And so it just took off, and people still can't buy tokens on the stock exchange in an ETF. It still has not been permissioned. It will come. We're convinced it will come in the next couple of months, no doubt. But right now, we have the trading product for people who want that aggressive price speculation, and the people really interested in buying the tokens. This fund allows them to get the double leverage, the 2x leverage, or as close to it as we can get. And so I think that's why it had such good demand. I do think, though, that when XRP tokens are approved for ownership inside of ETFs, I think those are going to be wildly popular.
It just took off. Spot XRP ETFs incoming. Check out another Jacob Brands on YouTube. Arthur K money runs on connectivity. Ripple partner Thunes plugs into pay to bank service into Swift. This means Ripple liquidity is routed through Thunes can reach any Swift connected bank, said to cover 11,000 banks. Justin Swift is building a blockchain ledger with 30 plus banks using consensus. Panos reminder for the new and old XRP holders, especially the XRP haters. XRP was not created for banks. XRP ledger was built for DeFi. Watch your guru Justin. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says it. I've been more bullish about clear rules for crypto. Banks want to ban rewards to maintain their monopoly, and we're making sure the Senate knows bailing out big banks at the expense of the American consumers is not okay. Banks are panicking.
You probably all know that we got the Genius Act already passed into law for stablecoins, which is great. The next step is we've got to get market structure passed. And I've actually never been more bullish on this getting through. We've already seen strong bipartisan support in the House. Now it's being deliberated in the Senate. Now, this has not stopped the banks from coming in and trying to relitigate issues that were already settled in the Genius Act. In particular, they're trying to ban rewards on stablecoins, even though this is already settled into law. And we're making sure that the Senate knows that bailing out the big banks, which are having record profit margins at the expense of the American consumer, is not going to fly. That would be a foolish thing to do politically because there's 50 million Americans like you who have now used crypto, and they want to make sure that they can actually earn more money with their money. Who'd have thought? So visit standwithcrypto.org if you want to help and support. We'd love your help in contacting senators and congresspeople to make sure we get market structure passed and preserve rewards on stablecoins. Thanks.
Tony Edwards, Thinking Crypto podcast. Banks want to stop stablecoins. Banks are having buyer's remorse over the recently passed stablecoin legislation, Genius Act, and they're trying to change it. Summer Mersinger, CEO of Blockchain Association, gives the details. Check out the full interview over on Thinking Crypto on YouTube.
What is happening is I think the bankers maybe were flat-footed. If you're worried about losing deposits because there's a higher reward offered by an exchange on a stablecoin, higher your APR for your savings accounts, right? You compete. And so it's really frustrating to have them come back and say, oh, I guess we don't like this and we want to change it.
So it seems like the crypto industry has another fight on its hands, and we're used to it now.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to push back because I think some of it is misinformation. And certainly we have to push back on any kind of myths that are out there, misinformation that's being sent out from the banking community. So it's not like we're picking this fight, but we're going to have to respond to it.
Luminate Wallet, Kinetic Markets, both lend and borrow functions are fully live on Luminate. You can now borrow FXRP and USDT directly from the suppliers on Kinetic Markets seamlessly within Luminate. Access full Kinetic Markets suite and manage it all in one place safely and securely at luminate.app. We say when one item submitted. Work through several nights to get the basic MP token support added to Zamin Wallet. Just submitted Zamin Wallet 4.3.0 to Apple and Google. Now we wait. Gordon, altcoin Gordon, mark my words, the next leg up for XRP will be fast and aggressive. You're either positioned before it happens or begin for an entry once it does. Connect the dots or stay broke. Mag says XRP. Why no one's talking about this? XRP's next pump, next move, next moonshot. Imminent and mustache. Altcoins, you know what happens when the Total 3 reclaims the blue trend line, don't you? If that happens, we've seen a strong fake out over the last few days, and altcoins will continue their journey to new all-time highs. I'm ready. Are you? And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Rich list, top 10% holder, 2,365.295986. XRP. Where are those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed?
Big bags.
We'll catch you up here on the mothership. BYOB, bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button and smash that subscribe-y. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
I hope you hold it a little strong, 'cause we about to rolled in limbo, staring out my window. I got the formula, stacked them bags up and simple, and wait until we explode. I'll meet you at the disco. We just getting started like an intro. 589 the numbers, please, please call our bingo. We the new heroes. Them trash coins you held went to zero.